Hey, good morning, everybody. In this video, I wanted to walk through quickly just one of our latest blog posts. So, I wrote a blog about why digital communication is lagging in healthcare. The basis of this is just starting to understand and realize that the industry, and not necessarily just a few companies, are lagging behind in this, modernized, more digital world that especially with things like the coronavirus and other things that are keeping people home more and more often and on their phones more, on their computers more, how that's going to impact the industry, and why it's very critical for people in the healthcare industry, for companies, practices, um, anybody that is just involved with that industry needs to learn to adapt and really embrace it. In the blog, I kind of, the perspective that I wrote from is really just the patient perspective. And that's really because I think we can all relate, right? We've all been to the doctor's office where we're filling out paper forms, which, not necessarily frustrating, but it's just, why are we still having to do that? Or you're sitting in the doctor's office in the waiting room for 30 extra minutes when they probably could have booked you or scheduled you a little bit more efficiently. So that's really the approach that I took here. But really, the biggest thing is getting to that root cause, right? And understanding why in this one industry, why technology, especially customer patient facing technology, and then even the communication between and within the industry is lagging a lot. And I highlight three things that I think are the three that really drive this the most. And there's a lot of data to back this up. There's a lot of resources in here that I linked out to. But I think, first and foremost, it's really just the complexity. This stuff is never easy, but it's not easy for any industry, for any business. So the next two items on here really drive and make that complexity just not worth it, right? So you have a lot of regulation in the healthcare industry for good reason, and then you have the lack of financial incentives, which those two really tie together. But because you have a lot of regulation, because you don't have the financial incentives to modernize or to digitize your overall process, it just it makes for that perfect storm of an industry or a company not wanting or not willing to go out there and make the investment and really put their best foot forward when it comes to becoming more digital. And then finally, I think it's different for everybody. It's different depending on the size of your company or practice, I guess I should say in this case. But you know, I think any business is smart to start small. We tend to want to like boil the ocean, jump in, and just say, "Hey, we'll figure it out." That's not a bad approach, but that approach should be a little bit more controlled, I guess I should say, where you're really kind of like starting small, proving out the concepts, proving out that you're capable of doing it, and really prioritizing the aspects of your business that are the biggest pain points, but also probably don't take as much effort to make happen. So, again, that's kind of the overall blog and the reasoning behind it. I hope it helps, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think we all, in the in the business world, in the healthcare world, we just need to be doing more and more to of this modernizing and adapting to really get the growth that we want. So I hope this helps, and yeah, just give me feedback. I'd love to hear what you guys think and and what your overall thoughts are.